So, Arturas, here we are. The Bulls 25-10, number one seed in the East as things stand this morning. The excitement in town, as we alluded to, is palpable. What is the element of this Bulls team, this Bulls roster, that you are proudest of at this stage of the season?
Well, a lot of players actually, that, on the roster, they definitely play well. The guys that we probably didn't think going to be in rotation are in rotation. I think what DeMar and Zach are doing is incredible. And obviously Nikola and just what, the new signings like Lonzo and Alex have done in terms of, just adding defensive component to this group. And what I'm just waiting is obviously to get AC and Javante back and see if we can have some kind of continuity with the same guys for extended period of time. Because during this year, obviously it's up and down with the COVID protocols and a couple injuries. We've not been able to have a full roster, but so it's all league. So we kind of staying patient and we're waiting for that moment that you can have like continuity a little bit with full roster availability.
If that happens, when that happens, are you done? And is this the group that you think is good enough to contend? Do you want to watch what happens with this group, or are you always trying to get better? And are you eyeballing that trade deadline and thinking, I can make this move, I can make that move? Are you done with this particular group, and do you want to see them go, or are you concerned about trying to add more?
Well, I like this group. I like this group a lot. Like I said, we competing right now this season. It's a new group, right? So, teams that are close by, like, Brooklyn's and Milwaukee's and Phillies, they have their group for, 2 or 3 years at least. And we have this group for 3 months. So we're still learning. We're still adjusting. And I like this group a lot. The mental toughness, a lot of games that we came back, we didn't fold. So, but at the same time, we're also open to any kind of possibilities, and we'll listen. However, like I said, I love this group of guys.
I think we wondered in Chicago when you arrived what you would value most in a player, what traits that you would try to evaluate and fill your roster with. So now that we have seen a roster full of guys who have come together, the guys you've drafted or brought to town, and it has come together very quickly, how would you describe, what's your criteria for what makes an ideal Chicago Bulls player?
Well, we kind of, nobody expected us to be a defensive team. And we kind of started the year with tough defense and tough mentality. For most of the year, we were in top 10 in both, in offense and defense. The last 8 games that we went 8-0, we were number one offense in the league, but our defense slipped. And, for some obvious reasons, we were missing Lonzo and we were missing Alex and Javante, and those guys are, with defensive mind. But I think we like to see how this group works together. And we got to be really sensitive to any changes, if any, we will have. And like I said, these guys, great locker room right now, great vibe. They like each other. So it's a joy to watch what they're doing on the floor. But of course, there's room to improve as a group. And I'm looking forward to watching them because there's clusters of schedule coming up that are really tough, and we'll try to get through them.
So I remember reading a story that when Kobe White came in as as a rookie. He actually, Zach LaVine picked up on some of the footwork he was using, and he adapted that to sort of his step-back jumper. And I think that's fascinating, the idea that a rookie can help a veteran player improve his game. Now we see DeMar DeRozan come in, and we see him, the way he plays that mid-range jumper game is extraordinary. And I saw Kobe a couple times, kind of turn, cut, and make what I like to call the DeRozan shots, right? So I'm just wondering, how much of that do you see? How much of these guys are learning from each other, and is that what you mean when you talk about how you haven't been together for a long time?
Yes, and even in practices, interaction, those guys are really close. Guy that we haven't talked yet is obviously Kobe, and him coming back from injury. Again, getting COVID and then coming back. It hasn't been easy, but it's been really productive and a huge part of our success in these games. So I think those guys, come to practice and come to AC every day to learn from each other, and they open-minded. So it's a great group.
Arturas, much has been made of how DeMar DeRozan has proven doubters wrong. All the people that thought he wouldn't fit with Zach LaVine and wouldn't be a guy that could function in this offense. Going back to last summer, when you made the deal to acquire him, how aware were you of that kind of skepticism, and has he exceeded even your expectations?
Well, I was aware of skepticism because I heard, obviously. But, when we, went after DeMar, I think we were looking forward to getting, exactly what we're getting right now in terms of, besides, scoring, he's also another playmaker. And thinking that we had enough players that can shoot the ball, it would be a really good fit. So it actually worked out really well. The way they, DeMar and Zach share kind of being playmakers for this team, and just the way this team fits with all the players with certain, characteristics, from defense to three-point shooting. We don't take a lot of three-point shots, but we're one of the best teams actually making them. We also best free throw shooting team in the league. So there's a lot of good things going on. The one thing that we obviously would like to do is to get back to our defensive ways. It's been a little bit slipping, but we still have time and we have room to improve.
It's so much fun to kind of try to read you through the players that you acquire. So, you draft Patrick Williams, and we're all talking about, what does that mean? Garrett Temple is brought in. Well, that's an interesting pick. Look at how he plays. I think we're always trying to read it, and you draft Ayo Dosunmu, and we all watched his career and saw him play at Illinois. I don't know that there was a lot of belief that he was going to fit in the way he's fit in, but that's kind of, I guess my question is, how much does character matter? You talk about the great character you have with these guys, and you've brought in, Alex Caruso leads the league in floor burns, right? You guy like Lonzo, I could watch him throw a lob pass for a living, just not even worry about anything else. It's kind of extraordinary, the combination of the group. Was character like a number one thing you're looking at?
Number one, I don't know, but it's very important because, I've referred to the locker room and I referred to guys liking each other. It's important to us. And, once we obviously got Ayo, our expectations, were, gradually maybe he's going to figure it out and, how to play in the league, and did not expect that he's going to be figured out that quick. And now he's getting tough assignments on defense, and is contributing to a lot of our wins and energy. So it's been a great surprise, and obviously we enjoy watching Io.
Arturas, last month the league denied the Bulls' request for an injury exemption in relation to Patrick Williams with the wrist dislocation. Does that mean there's an expectation he'll be back sooner rather than later, or how much are you counting on any contribution from Patrick Williams this season?
Well, Patrick is coming back, in terms of slowly, and schedule is kind of like to be determined. We're not going to put any pressure for him to come back. We're just going to go from week to week. We'll see how he improves, and like I said, we'll see in terms of date. I do not want to put any timeline on it, but it would be great to get Patrick back by the end of the season.
We were talking earlier about just what appointment television it is, that the Bulls have become a team that you want to sit in front of, you want to watch, and there's an unbelievable entertainment value. It's kind of off the charts. Is that by design? And I know that sounds like a crazy question. What I mean is your style of basketball is a very attractive one. I think it's fun to watch your old team play. It's really fun to watch this team play. Is that just when you get a team playing together, it becomes that much more exciting to watch? Or did you know that this was going to be this kind of thing?
Well, there's a lot of things to like about this team, and Billy has done a tremendous job with these guys, and the communication level, honesty, and I think this group is buying in to what we're trying to do and what Billy's preaching. So it's great to watch the growth of this team, and like I said, this team is still getting better, and this fan base obviously deserve this quality team. And like I said, it's easy to like this team, and because of the character of the group, and hopefully we can keep this up and in the next couple months and stay the course and make some noise.
Arturas, with 15 players, I think it is, who have gone through COVID protocols or missed time because of COVID, even Billy Donovan, the head coach, missing some time, 5 games. How would you describe the challenge that has been to navigate? And in some ways, the fact that you guys are where you are despite all of that, is that one of the reasons when players talk about this team, you hear the word resilient come up as often as we do?
Yes. So the good thing is that we're running out of bodies to infect. So that's a good thing. So everybody's been through it. But yeah, it's been interesting. Every morning you wake up and there's either somebody else and you start working on certain adjustments. How many players you have for practice, how many players you have for the game. Do you need to add someone? Hardship additions. It's just been really hectic, but so has been for every team in the league. I think we were one of the first ones to go through it and experience it. I was getting calls from other teams, and to kind of share experiences early, because it's something that has never been. We've never been through this. Constantly, certain rules are changing in terms of adding players or hardship, and so it's been interesting days. On a daily basis, you just wake up and you find out, somebody else is in protocols. So it's been tough, but again, it's been the league, it's been every team. So for everyone, it's been a tough year.
Arturas, thank you. Thank you for jumping on with us, and thank you for putting this team together, and thank you for saying that you're not going to settle for mediocrity here. It's been wonderful to watch.
Thank you, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks, Arturas. Appreciate it.
It's fantastic. Come on. How fired up are you? I mean, I'm really fired up. I don't know why. It's just, I love that we have the Bulls on the score, and you have to tune in. You have to make sure that you're listening, because the Bulls are playing, man.
Mully, you're fired up. I'm fired up. Fans are fired up. The team is excited. I don't think we're going to have to worry about Arturas getting too excited about this season so far. He's got very calm, very in control, definitely in command, very much level-headed.